All right. Good evening. You're listening to WDIZ, Joey A's Jukebox, Radio 187, broadcasting on 27.185 megahertz. Yo, we got Dizzy D from USA DECAY. He's making his way up the back studio steps, and we're going to be reviewing and critiquing the group's 2018 release entitled Last Posse in Town. They recorded 90% of it way back between 1986 and 1992. Why did they wait 28 years to release it? We'll find that out and more, what it was like for USA DECAY in 1986 and how it all started. I've heard people say that this is the #1 best rap hip-hop album to ever come out of Boston's New England. The guys themselves say it's the album they should have dropped way back in 1992. Instead, they disbanded. What's up with that? We'll break it down with the founding member Dizzy D right after we check out the title track. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your earbuds in. Last Posse in Town by USA DECAY.
Now you know how a junkie is a rookie shooting drugs, dropping a dime like it's a sucker like that. Ain't a one of a kind, but then again the fool like to pick and choose. Full of people that want to achieve, I guess agree, and the money is the life to lead. Hey wife, what you got? Give me money, not pot. Yo brother, what you doing downtown? Look to the streets to feel down. See no homeboy on the app down the zone. What's up with that? The kid got no home, but rocking and shocking. He's talking to the people, but the people keep walking. He's rocking and shocking. He's rocking. When I kick that Posse out my town, then we walk to see what's down. We had no money, you know we got it. 10 to nothing, they bought the twins. Check it out, cop. Did you see the kid drop? All you ever do is tone down the bar. You should look dope, you hide from the cops. You're a sad excuse for my MC. You either just step off or listen to me. My boy, Michael G, better bring it right. That boy's no fool for freedoms out of pride. He'll take the boys out. Protect my land, cause it's mine. Yes, it's mine. He's no one's fan. You better crush that lush. We ain't no junkie, make the first best fast for free. Still fun. You come around. Go to town on a Kevin K.
incredible. That was the super record, the title track, USA DECAY's 2000 release, Last Posse in Town. Dizza, welcome in, my friend.
Heidi, hi. Good to be here, Joe.
Hey, it's great to have you. Dizza,
Hey, that was a catchy tune you just played.
You know, the thing about that record, it's powerful, it's musical, it's creativity, and it's all bundled up in one. I love that song. Jam on out, and thank you for bringing it to us, partner. Tell me, where was that song actually recorded? Massachusetts?
Oh, great story behind that one. I came home from work one day, and I think Kevy K had the beat all written, but it was a little crooked. And he had his keyboard in front of him and his drum machine in front of him. And all I had to do was straighten out the beat a little bit. And he had such great lyrics that it was very easy for me to arrange that one. That was probably 1988.
Okay, and when I hear the name of it, Last Posse in Town, it lets me know, you know what, fans? We arrived. We're the first, the middle, the last. We're here forever. Whether it's the 80s and now we're in 2021, it lives on the record like you're letting the music game know we're the original Last Posse in Town. Thank you for bringing that to us.
I got to be honest.
Who made the name up?
Oh, I got to be honest with you, Joe. I was a big Clash fan, and they had a song called Last Gang in Town.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of punk rock, but ours is definitely original. Back then, you had to be completely original, or you were a perpetrator.
Well, there's one. Oh, okay, true.
I did lift the name of the song from the Clash, where they had Last Gang in Town, and I gave it Last Posse because back in the 80s, sadly, Boston broke the murder record in 88, I think, and everything was posse. Like, let's get a posse. I knew a posse. I was watching the old cowboy movies. Let's
okay,
have a posse. But in the hood over the bridge, which we weren't involved with, we were geographically removed from all that stuff. But the fact that it happened and everybody was forming a gang and a posse and all that, it gave us endless amounts of inspiration to write about.
Yes, that is a real song. Okay, now we're hearing a lot of buzz still 30 years later about this next record. Let me bring in No Punks Allowed. What a song. I heard this half of this track one time walking into the club one night. Play it.
Lindsay. Is Lindsay dropping the ball?
Here it is.
On the scene, red cut kinda clean. We got bad charts with the master scene.
White boy, your mic too tough. That's right, boy. I'll rock the mic and I'll shock it, boy. We're back on the scene. We're cut kinda clean. We got bad charts with the master scene. My name is Dizzy D on the MIC. Dizzy D. And all the brothers step back when I rock the spot. What's up? You know our lyrics ain't never whack. This cold rush through out of Boston, man. Boston. Bustin' so tight inside the city. Things in the city ain't looking too pretty. So I kick it outside to Providence. But let me tell you one thing, now they don't got the confidence to bust around in everybody's face. They can't tell ya it's a disgrace. No MC has the same code right. Take my mic, cook it up upright. It's getting out of here, no punks allowed. Don't take my money, don't come around. With my favorite boys. We're shooting 22 or more. All I'm on the sudden I saw these boys coming in here trying to make some of them. I grabbed the gun, I said y'all can't play. Got a game here, man, we're not done anyway. Well, that fool stepped in and Kevin got over. He rocked his day with the full deep over. You talk about the people, but you don't understand. All you gonna sit around my hand. You can't out-rock a trying man. There's two of us. Better understand. You better kick it back home this way you belong. Let me tell you one thing, you're wrong, my man. Just being here, Kevy K, Dizzy D, set it square. You know it, boy, but I would tell it straight. But I would take that ball, punch him right in the face. Say you're sweet and where you hanging, what you doing? Did you say you come from Southie? Nothing doing, that's right, you was chilling at the coolest spot. Looking at the colors, I was doing up a shot. About enough to start the fire on the right side. G and K. When I ain't back, doing on the microphone, then beats are tough. Better leave me alone. I don't like punks who come to our town. Don't take my money, don't come on. graciously.
Full of rhymes he says and the beats he plays. It's USA DECAY.
Kevin K.
DK. No other rapper could say.
For the way you rock them and what you taught them.
USA DECAY.
Start it off now. Picture him a boy chilling in a park bag.
Looking at the microphone is making me mad.
It's not alive.
It's 9 to 5.
I'm on my whole about being a star. He got you up at the Quincy Bay.
When two thumbs came back to say
They were bad. They thought they were. We took them out bad like they were. But they were bad. Cause we was bad. My neighborhood crew. We was glad. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. We were chilling at the coolest spot. Looking at the girl as I was doing up a shot. Bottom up the spot to fire on the rise. Not T. T and K. What eyes? What eyes? What eyes? What eyes? As the new generation takes their shine, I choose to pick my own path in this hip-hop life. Yes, the boy can fight, but it won't come to that. You're not about this life. This is much deeper than rap. No punks allowed from the 80s till now. I've got things to prove, people to see and things to do. I bring the food. I'm trying to make it all better for the dude and I. It's me and him versus all of you. Got no fear in my heart. Felt like that from the start. I got no time for the petty and bull. I'm more like the 96 forward ethic. Strong man, your style's horrendous. I rap with a purpose, always deliver my message. My mind is all clear when I step in the booth. There's no stress in my heart. It's where I let it out, dude. No punk could ever take this from me. I'm a Tyson for my passion. Yes, I'm fighting for the cashing and the fighting that don't happen. Oh, well, that's a compliment. I guess I love you, piggyback, as my body is strong. I don't mind carrying y'all along. I'm a beast on a song. Hit my celly to vibe. I got a jar full of green and a mind full of ideas, B. Don't be surprised when we don't see eye to eye. I'm the one to do much talking, choose your words very wisely. Something's telling me you want it. I'm about it, to be honest. I've been trying to get these punks out of town pops. They're not welcome in these cars. This is the toughest city. So get the step and get the message. Kids around, they leave you breathless. Y'all don't know. Streets are no place to hang. Stirred crazy gangs still riding around, toting their gangs. It's like a jungle out here, man. Don't get caught up in mountains. They'll get you anywhere. Murder pan, daughter stealthy. South the city getting it. North the city too. And the wild, wild west. Like Springfield and Worcester, my dude.
All right, that was awesome. And Dizzy, that was your son wrecking the third verse. He's awesome.
You are playing some catchy tunes tonight, Joey.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my son David. What happened was we had a
No Punks Allowed was the name of that song.
yes, sir. We had a long guitar solo at the end of that played by Bruce Owens, but Bruce himself would tell you that it wasn't his best playing, but I thought it was great at the time. So
Yes, and is it true that was your very first studio recording as a group, USA DECAY?
it was. We dropped that guitar solo.
1987.
Are you going to keep interrupting
Sorry.
me, Joe? We dropped the guitar solo out of that and added. I said to my son David, I need 32 measures of lyrics that you kids do today. I don't know what it is. I'm out of the business, but he actually showed up on time in the studio. I couldn't believe it, and he put us to shame, I would say.
Very
On the end of
lyrical
No Punks Allowed,
creativity.
yeah. So you're asking me about No Punks?
Yes, I love the song. What I wanted to ask you, tell us the deal. We all heard the rumors. What's the truth that happened on the No Punks Allowed song? But it wound up on the Boston Goes Deaf collaboration album because I bought that as a kid.
As far as recording it?
Yes, and how did they acquire it? Licensing or?
Friends of mine from another group were going into studio to do their demo. They said, hey, we're going into studio. I said, oh, tell the engineer, well, we're almost ready to do one too. So we booked some studio time with this guy that we didn't know. And we heard on the way over that he was doing a collaboration album for all the Boston hip hop artists, none of whom I knew.
You've been compared to White Noise.
White Noise was the only group that I thought could have been as good as us.
Okay.
They if they kept going, I really like White Noise. I like what they
I
they
knew
were
you do.
exactly like us when I heard
Yes,
the demo
very
tapes.
talented.
They did the same stuff. They had the boombox going, but as far as No Punks Allowed, we went into this guy and we recorded half the song. And we heard on the way over he was doing a collaboration album with all the Boston hip hop artists. And I said, hey, I'm Dave, that's Kevin, and everyone. And he said, oh, I'm Steve. And I said, oh, I heard you're doing but he said, yeah, there's no room. I said, oh, no, I wasn't going to say. I still want to do my demo. I just thought that was kind of cool. You're doing a hip-hop collaboration. Yeah, there's no room on the album. And so I left there with my Ampex reel.
Well, you're a gentleman, yeah.
I left there with my Ampex reel. The song was half done. It was a skeleton of itself, what it is now. And he put it on his album.
Okay.
He put it on his so I didn't know whether to be proud or mad, you know?
Well,
like he took half the shell of the song and put it on the album. But so everyone went running down to Skippy White's to buy the cassette or whatever it was. Everyone thought it was big time, but it was just some guy trying to make money off all the hip hop stars in Boston. Some people were not very happy with him, but that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay, and how was it feeling when you'd perform in your hometown city, anywhere in New England? Basically, what was the feeling to walk onto the stage?
We had a formula where we wouldn't go on stage unless we were 150% ready, and we did rehearse a lot. And the way we played to full houses is other people's crowds. We go into the club at 2:00 in the afternoon and ask who they had in and can we open up for them, and they'd mostly tell us to scram. But if they did bother to listen to the tape, they'd say, okay, what do you want? No, you can't have a lot of money. And we just wanted a cab ride home, and we only had 3 songs.
Yeah, but in a world where punk rock was everything, you guys ripped the scene within rap, rock. You grooved right in.
Great point, because punk rock was kind of coming to an end. I have 4 older brothers. I did the heavy metal thing, the Leonard Skinner, and punk rock came in after that. And punk rock was kind of dying out in 1986. But I could see a fusion coming. I could see a fusion with rap and punk, and I liked both. So I liked that they were fusing together. And Run DMC already had 2 albums by the time I even got a drum machine, I think. So we weren't quite ahead of our time, but locally, you might be able to say that. I don't know. It might have been.
Gold 812, Ocean North, Ocean North, Ocean North, Ocean North. Apartment number 2 with the boyfriend who attempted to stab her last month. She said that he left running down towards Moreland Street. She was fine as they were speaking to her. He left. Okay. Once again, looking for a black male, 6-foot, dark baseball cap, red Sox jacket, dark sweatshirt, blue jeans, and black Adidas sneakers, known to carry a knife. Oh, here we got regular cocaine, crack cocaine, heroin, tons of heroin. People ODing all over the place. People addicted to prescription.
All right, Lindsay had a minor glitch in the studio, but here it is. Kids Got Nothing. I love this song.
Careful.
Roxbury, Dorchester crew. I pop up in Rosendale too. Let me tell you one thing, the boys ain't playing okay. Quick, tell them what I'm saying. I need keep up. I understand. My brothers in the park gonna try to jam. I using knives, you needing guns. None of these kids should have ever come to the realization that the kids of our nation face a population increase and the prices of inflation. Cause a kid, that's a growing man. Kids got nothing, I understand. My cousin got shot in 75. Could be pinned back down on a cycle at the 9. Growing old from a deadly crime. Leave those drugs to drink from your time, your time, your time, your time. This one's rapping, this one's rapping. This young thing, all she do is crapping. Told us one to listen up. Kids got nothing, that's what's up. Tell me how to be an MC. You doing drugs, it's so easy to see. I'm your dad, I'm glad I asked you, boy. Well, listen up, cause I am really torn. Start, break down. Home girls, rock the town. I'm start, break down. Home boys, let's get down. Now with USA, we understand how to pick up the mic when it's time to jam. Like kids at the MC fight, and this one's telling you you rock me right. Told Johnny he said, what's up with you? Down the park, you taking Hennessy too. I look a little Ricky and what do I see? He's in his 6-pack trying to be 19. I look at DDD with a ray of hope. He's jamming on the drum machine, that's what's dope. He's got the sound to rock loud. I looked him in the eye and said, let's rock proud.
spreading out there. Call states they heard one gunshot in the area. They did not hear or see anything else. Okay, we'll look around. Sheriff's break from Gallivan. Starts at 62 on Dick Street. Pressed with a knife. Call states someone is threatening his life. They tried to kill him.
Okay, you're hearing it. Okay, and I actually enjoy it. You know what? That was The Kids Got Nothing. You know, Dave, I got to tell you, I can hear the hood inside that record. In other words, it sounds a bit muddy, the background. Like, was it done in a home studio? I love it, though. It feels so real when you hear it.
That is a very astute observation, Joe, because I may have mentioned to you before when I sent the tapes away to be converted, some of them came back multi-track and some of them came back single track, and this came back as a mix down. So what we had to do, unfortunately, was build on top of what we had, and we couldn't change what we call the band.
But you removed the distortion. It sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
If there was, but it sounds, yeah.
Tom Waltz.
Okay.
Tom Waltz.
Incredible, but you could feel the neighborhood in it.
Yeah. Well, the lyrics, I think Kevy K one day said, Mattapan, Roxbury, Dorchester Crew, Hyde Park, Southampton, Rosendale, too. So he had the whole city covered. And from there, it was easy working with Kevy K and his great lyrics. But the reason it was a little muddy, first of all, it's the Roland TR-707, the muddy drum machine. And then it came back single track, and we had to do our best to
Okay, and tell us, what's it about? Kids Got Nothing. I can feel it. What are you telling us?
It's kind of like when you go out and you see kids hanging out all over the street. Like
I can feel that.
Every street corner in the summer, like nowhere to go and not really no jobs and I don't even know if they wanted jobs.
Somehow like that. So you wanted to let the kids know there's a bigger world than just that. There's, whether it's studying or get in the library or read a book, read the Boston Herald. What are you saying?
I wanted to call it Kids Got Nothing to Do.
Okay.
That was too long. So
okay.
Kids Got Nothing was more punk rock kind of like you see that title and you think, oh, what are they? Like USA Decay. I stole that name from a UK punk band, UK Decay. Okay. I thought it was the greatest name ever, so I said name, USA Decay.
But Dave, why 28 years later?
Oh, another great question, Joe. Again, we disbanded in '92. Somehow, all the music ended up in one box and one crate, and it sat for 30 years. I walked by it a million times to get my fishing rods, and I saw it, and the internet came along, and we contacted Tom Waltz. He converted them to digital, and then from there we could work on them. I called Kevy K. I said, "Are you interested? I don't want to bring the group back together. I just want to go in the studio and give this thing the production it deserves." And that's what we did. Okay,
I got to tell you, one time I was on a dinner date and my woman said to me, "You ever hear of USA DK? They're from the neighborhood." I go, "Yeah, I love them." And she put these headphones on my head and played a love song. And she says, "Joey, listen to Can We Try?" David, tell us. You know, that's a song I almost proposed to her from. I love that song. What an idea. You talk to someone's woman. It's like you're talking to the love of your life, but at the same time explaining you can only put so much into this relationship.
What are you
Please
saying,
tell man to woman.
What are you saying? You don't see love songs coming out of me?
Yeah, exactly. But tell us, because I love Can We Try?
No, we're not that style.
And I want to hear it any second now.
Look, I mean, maybe we gave an impression when people said, "Oh, you got to try a love song. You got to try singing." And we fight back, like push back, say, "We're not singers, we're not dancers," but it's still all action.
You really did it with this song.
It's all action, and but with this one, they said, "Oh, you got to try a love song if you have an album." So we kind of gave it our own twist.
All right,
and,
let's.
Can we try?
Here it is. Let's have the audience decide.
I think I'm gonna cry.
Oh, what a love song. And, you know, it's almost like a love rap song. But it's really smooth, I gotta tell you, both being for the ladies and the gentlemen, because you just got a certain smoothness to it. And I notice you're the only vocalist. You do the singing and rapping. Who did all the music? Your crew and Mr. Waltz?
Oh, I did everything on it except guitar.
Oh, okay.
And Kevy would have sung the choruses on it. Can we try?
Yeah, I bet the
Because
ladies love that song.
but he didn't show up. And
Okay.
so I had to do it. It was he was busy.
It's such a universal album. Speaking of that, I'm hearing a lot of Spanish on the album. Even the next song has some Spanish, but I love it. Is there a reason you got someone in the family Spanish? Tell me.
Well, the Spanish thing started because Kevin and I had a friend, Alberto Vega, Puerto Rican guy, and we hung out with
They're
him.
wonderful people, yeah.
Are you going to keep interrupting
Sorry.
me?
All right. I'm saying we're all equal. That's all I meant. All right.
Anyways, Alberto Vega, right? Every time you do that, I got to start over.
All right.
We used to hang out, and he would teach us like little tiny things. Like "Tu tienes" was a famous saying that we had. We lived across from the De Palmos, Mikey, Tony, and Derek, and they would come over. "Tu tienes, tu tienes." Like that means, do you have anything? Like, you know what everybody was looking for at the time.
Oh, the neighborhood, the way they talk,
we wouldn't
yeah.
say, hey, you got anything? We'd just say, "Tu tienes."
Like
tu
a certain
tienes, tu
code.
tienes. And from that, I mean, I took off with it. I studied to be an interpreter, and I can speak now. But that's kind of why. And we got the talented Adriana Acevedo just to say the conversation parts on Blacks and Whites.
Okay, now next up is one of my favorite records because you talk to the world, Blacks and Whites. Can you please play that jam? I love that track.
Okay, let's see what Lindsay
Sin
has.
documentos son ilegales. ¿Qué parte de ilegales no entiende? Ilegal es ilegal.
It was the beginning of a movement. I still have a dream. It is a dream each and every day. I have a dream.
Blacks and whites, rock hand with one another.
This nation will rise up.
This is Blacks and Whites by USA DECAY.